Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, honestly, there's just a lot to cover, and it's all over the place. So we'll do sort of a good, the bad, and the ugly thing. So we'll start with something good. Apparently, 28 years after its release, a secret two-player mode has been discovered for Super Punch-Out. It looks like Twitter account Unlisted Cheats, whose whole thing is finding cheats in old games, has found 2 new codes for Super Punch-Out. And as I'm sure you're wondering, yes, both codes are confirmed to work for not only the original cartridge, but various console versions and apps, and the SNES Classic Edition mini console. And since I'm sure you're curious, if you hold Y and R, then press A or start, you can select any opponent you want to fight. You unlock them all to play. The crazy thing is, the second code can then be used from this menu, and if you hold B and Y on controller 2, then press A or start on controller 1, the opponent can now be played by player 2 on controller 2. Video Games Chronicle says it's likely these codes were added for bug testing purposes, allowing QA staff to quickly choose an opponent instead of having to unlock them, then activate their moves and special abilities at will so they could test that everything worked properly. No matter what the case, this is a super fun way to enjoy Classic, and more importantly, remind us that classics like this still have secrets that can be unlocked, and that is pretty awesome. In other news, we'll call this the bad. Applovin is looking to buy Unity for $17.5454 billion. I had to look that up again. First, if you are like me, you are probably thinking, who the hell is Applovin? I would assume that while kind of a lame name, it's actually a descriptor. Like Applovin is a company that helps apps with lovin'? According to their website, they make software that empowers monetization, marketing stuff, machine learning AI, I assume to make more money off of monetization. So you know, all the things I dislike in a company. Anyway, the company wants to buy Unity. According to Reuters, Unity said its board would evaluate the offer. The company is slated to report its earnings after the bell on Tuesday, today. Both companies make software designed for video games. Game-making software has also been expanding into new technologies such as the metaverse or immersive virtual worlds, both things that still have no meaning and no one really knows what they are really, and yet it's all people talk about. So yeah, I don't really follow Applovin, and none of this really makes sense to me. I don't know why they would want to buy Unity, but I'm clearly not the only one. As the founder of a games industry consultancy firm, Kantan Games, Sirkin Toto said, the deal comes as a surprise to everyone in the business. It's a $15 billion company going after a $15 billion company. It's a desperate attempt to consolidate, and the chances of this deal happening are very slim. And finally, our last bit of news from the world of game delays, something that seems to be happening more and more these days. Marvel's Midnight Suns, which was originally slated to be released in March and then was pushed to October, is now being delayed once again. Midnight Suns, for those of you out of the loop, is a crossover game featuring all sorts of Marvel heroes battling demons in XCOM fashion. It looked really neat. I was very excited for it. But it looks like something about it wasn't working or needed polishing or debugging or who knows. But according to Firaxis' Twitter account, the game is delayed. And although they did say it would still be released this fiscal year, what that translates to in normal person terms is anytime between now and March 2023. But the fact there isn't a date leads me to think that maybe there's the chance that they're not quite sure that's actually going to happen. So they're just keeping their options open. Anyway, speaking of no delays, that's a bad one. Speaking of keeping your options open, nope, that still sucks. Over on Cox Clips, that's right, youtube.com/Cox Clips. Oh boy. My mom and I are playing Stray right now, and I would love it if you go check it out. I don't know what that has to do with any of the segue topics I was thinking of. Doesn't matter. It's still pretty great, and I would love it if you go give it a look. So that is it for me. Thanks so much. I will see y'all tomorrow with another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.